Part 250. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2491. Chapter 2491. This is not the case. Yan Xiaoqing is really confused about this matter. Because this is definitely not in line with Mo Yesi's behavior. They all know how much Mo Yesi treasures Jiao Mian. It is not an exaggeration to say that Jiao Mian is worshipped as an ancestor. Can he endure Jiao Mian being wronged like this? Can she endure her beloved being slandered and insulted like this on Weibo and yet remain indifferent? Anyway, Yan Xiaoqing didn't believe it. But now that Jiao Mian's dirty information has been exposed for so long and everyone knows it, Yan Xiaoqing really doesn't believe that Mo Yesi didn't see it. Even if he didn't see it, his employees should have seen it. Jiao Mian's work team must also know about it. But the current situation is that neither Mo Yesi nor the company Jiao Mian signed has any intention to deal with this matter. Even the company that Jiao Mian signed a contract with didn't even post a response on Weibo. All this is so abnormal. Gong Zili's face became increasingly gloomy. He really didn't know about it. He never cares about the gossip news in the entertainment industry, and it is impossible for the people under him to tell him these things. Although he registered on Weibo, he doesn't log in often. He took out his mobile phone with a dark face and logged into Weibo, which he had not logged into for a long time. When I opened Weibo, I saw Jiao Mian's name in the hot search column. Angamianmiangongzli ambiguous relationship hashtag. Relevant crew members revealed that male artists such as Jiao Mian and Zanbo Qinhan are having affairs hashtag. Hashtag Jiao Mian fights for love, and Shen's daughter is plotted by him hashtag. Angamian get out of the entertainment circle hashtag. Hashtag Ikea Mian hashtag. Gong Zili looked at the hot search headlines one after another, and the air pressure in his body was frighteningly low. When he raised his head again, Yan Xiaoqing looked into his narrow phoenix eyes that were as if they were tempered with ice. The coldness in his eyes was so cold that he couldn't help but shudder. Lao Si's look is so scary. As if trying to eat people. Yan Xiaoqing knew that he must have seen those hot searches. Fourth brother, don't stare at me like this. It's not me who made you the hot search topic. Yan Xiaoqing reached out and touched his nose. I don't care what you think about my sister-in-law now. If you really care about her, just be careful. The substitute you are looking for, it's better not to bring him out recently. If someone discovers it, it will harm my sister-in-law. Gong Zili seemed to have a layer of frost on his face, and a layer of frost on his body. His whole body exuded a chilling air. He pursed his lips and was silent for a long time, then gritted his teeth and said, I understand. Yan Xiaoqing nodded and said nothing more. Some things just need to be clicked. As a friend, he can only remind me. Gong Zili can listen, so naturally it's best. If he can't listen, there's nothing he can do. Fortunately, Gong Zili seemed to have listened this time. He must also know how detrimental it would be to Jiao Mian if people saw the substitute he brought. As long as he still cares about Jiao Mian, it is impossible for him to be careless. Okay then, let's. Yan Xiaoqing was about to say that they should go back to the box when he suddenly heard Gong Zili say, that's not the case. What? Yan Xiaoqing was stunned for a moment. After a moment of silence, Gong Zili spoke again, the reason why Shenro and I have reached this point has nothing to do with Jiao Mian. It's because she deceived me about something very important, and I can't help it. Forgive her. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2492. Chapter 2492 is indeed what he guessed. Yan Xiaoqing was stunned for a few seconds, and suddenly realized that Gong Zili wanted to tell him something that he had always been curious about. He immediately pricked up his ears and prepared to listen carefully. Zili, What happened between you and Shenro? What did she deceive you about? Do you still remember that many years ago, I held a birthday party and accidentally fell into the swimming pool on the night of the birthday party and almost drowned? Of course I remember. I am very impressed by this incident. You almost drowned that night. How could Yan Xiaoqing not remember this incident? However, when Gong Zili suddenly mentioned this matter, what did he want to say? His relationship with Shenro broke down. Does it have anything to do with this matter? What did Shenro deceived him? Gong Zili seemed to have calmed down now, and the expression on his face returned to its normal coldness. The person who saved me that night was not Shenro. She deceived me, and she deceived me for 10 years. I will never forgive her in this life. What? Yan Xiaoqing was shocked and dumbfounded. She wasn't the one who saved you that night. But, didn't she say that she saved you? If it wasn't her, then who was it? Damn it, could it be? Before Mo Yesi could say anything, Yan Xiaoqing suddenly thought of a possibility and was shocked again. His mouth was open and his eyes were wide open. He was so shocked that he couldn't speak for a while. He thought that he had already guessed who the person who really saved Gong Zili was. So, Gong Zili and Shenro will suddenly break up. So, Gong Zili suddenly fell in love with Jiao Mian. I see. Yan Xiaoqing and Gong Zili have always had a good personal relationship, and they often play together. So he knew best how grateful Gong Zili was to Shenro for saving him that night. It can be said that the reason why Gong Zili was so good to Shenro later was mostly because Shenro saved him. After all, before this, Gong Zili and Shenro were just friends. Gong Zili did not treat her specially. Zili, the person who saved you that night, is your sister-in-law. Yan Xiaoqing was speechless for a while, then hesitantly asked about his guess. Yeah, Gong Zili nodded. The person who saved me that night was Jiao Mian, not Shenro. Yan Xiaoqing. It was indeed what he guessed. But, how did you know about this? I mean, how did you know that Shenro had deceived you? Have you never doubted her in the past 10 years? Yan Xiaoqing asked his own question. Gong Zili's face suddenly turned ugly. He gritted his teeth and said in a deep voice, I never thought she would lie to me. All right. Yan Xiaoqing was silent for a while and sighed. She did go too far in this matter. I was thinking about whether you had any ordinary conflicts and wanted to persuade you to reconcile, but now it seems that it is not necessary. But Zili, have you ever thought about something? Gong Zili looked at him coldly. Yan Xiaoqing paused and said, you started to be nice to your sister-in-law because you knew that she was your savior. Have you ever thought about the fact that you don't actually like her? Your feelings for her, it's just gratitude. You may be confusing love with gratitude. After Yan Xiaoqing finished speaking, Gong Zili gave him a sharp look. This pneumonia is really more serious than everyone thought. Now I don't go out unless I want to go shopping, and I stay at home the rest of the time. Babies, try not to go out, and be sure to wear a mask when going out. Also be sure not to go to crowded places. Drink more hot water at home and buy some vitamin C to eat. In short, you must protect yourself. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2493. Chapter 2493. This time, he won't be confused anymore. Yan Xiaoqing said seriously, Zili, do you know what love is and what gratitude is? You used to be very good to Shenro, so good that each of us thought you liked her, but you said you were right, she is not the kind of person who likes men and women. Then you are good to her just because she saved you. If so, you are just grateful to her. Just like your feelings for your sister-in-law now, I think you You don't need to say it. I know my own affairs well. Gongs Lihan interrupted Yan Shaoking's preaching with a face on his face, and said coldly, I'm not telling you these things just to listen to you. Said this. Before, he couldn't tell the difference clearly. But now, he knows the difference clearly. He was also very sure about his feelings for Xiao Mian. This time, he won't be confused. Yan Shaoqing. Okay, if you don't like to hear it, then I won't say it, he shrugged. Anyway, no matter what feelings you have for her now, it's impossible for you to do it. You and I have already made such a fuss, and I don't want to seeing that your relationship is getting worse. Even if you can't be friends, don't become enemies. This sentence is what Yan Shaoqing said from the bottom of his heart. If you cannot be friends, never become enemies. It would be so sad if former brothers became hostile enemies. This is not a situation he wants to see. They grew up together and were one of the few brothers around each other. Yan Shaoqing already felt very sad that the situation was like this. Fourth, I haven't asked you for anything. Yan Shaoqing put on a serious look on his face, paused for a few seconds, and said in a rare serious tone, even if I beg you, no matter what, you and I don't become enemies, Siju. You should not hurt each other. Gong Zili pursed his lips and said nothing. He raised his head, looked at Yan Shaoqing with deep eyes for a moment, and then slowly said, as long as he doesn't want to be my enemy, I won't do anything to him. But if he wants to do anything to Gong, I won't care about our past feelings if I take action. You have to know that it was not my choice that brought us to the situation we are in today, but his. Hearing what he said, Yan Shaoqing felt half relieved. Then I'm relieved, he nodded. I've said everything I need to say, let's go back now. You go back first. Gong Zili narrowed his narrow eyes. You won't go back to the box with me? The little substitute you found is so timid. I just said a few words to her and she cried. If she sees me going back alone later, just stay in the box with her. She may be frightened to tears once more. Speaking of it, Yan Shaoqing nodded. He really doesn't like women who cry at every turn. Affect his mood. She is the one who is scared to cry, not you. What are you worried about? Gong Zili said in an indifferent tone. Yan Shaoqing heard the coldness in his words and couldn't help but ask curiously, you don't have any feelings for your little substitute? What feelings do you think I have towards her? Yan Shaoqing reached out and touched the tip of his nose. I thought you had some sympathy. Since you don't have any feelings at all, why bother to cause such trouble? Don't say that she is just a three-quarter image, she just looks exactly the same. Different is always different. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2494. Chapter 2494. He would rather the person these netizens scold is him. Although you don't have any feelings for her, I don't think she has feelings for you. That's not the case. You'd better send her away as soon as possible. I'm afraid that if it takes too long, she won't want to leave. In this regard, Yan Shaoqing is definitely experienced. He has encountered such trouble. He still has a headache when he thinks about it. He is not afraid of women coveting his money. He is afraid that the woman will be sincere towards him and then covet his feelings. The former is easy to get rid of, and can be called and waved to go. The latter is as troublesome as it is troublesome. Gong Zili pursed his lips and said nothing for a while. After a while, he casually replied, I know. Asterisk. After Yan Shaoqing left, Gong Zili picked up his phone and logged into Weibo again. He clicked on the hot search between him and Xiao Mian. Then I saw an overwhelming amount of insulting text. The most popular searches on the internet are him and Xiao Mian. But almost all netizens are scolding Xiao Mian alone. Looking at the unsightly words, a storm formed in his eyes, and a fire seemed to be burning in his chest. At this moment, he wanted to destroy the entire world. He would rather the person these netizens scold was him. I don't want Jiao Mian to bear this. Because she is innocent. She was implicated by him. Even if there was really something between them, it was just wishful thinking on his part, and he had thoughts about her that he shouldn't have. He is the one who deserves to be scolded. He endured his anger and clicked on every hot search on Jiao Mian, spending almost 10 minutes reading them all. His face, which was already gloomy and unreadable, became even more so gloomy that it could drip water. The violent aura emanating from his body made people afraid to come close. All this was done by Shenro. Even though Gong Zili hasn't asked anyone to investigate this matter yet, he is almost certain that this is Shenro's handiwork. She cheated on him for 10 years. Now, he still wants to use such unbearable means to deal with his savior. If he lets her succeed, then who is he, Gong Zili? He can't even protect the people he cares about. Asterisk. The shooting in the afternoon also went well. Jiao Mian was not affected by the black material at all. She even acted more naturally and brilliantly than in the morning, as if she was cheating. During the break, Zhang Feng walked up to her, looked at her more and more appreciatively, and couldn't help but praise, "I didn't expect you to be in such good shape this afternoon. I thought you would be affected and not perform well." Jiao Mian smiled, "Does Director Zhang think I will be affected by those dirty materials? Well, there are very few artists who can't be affected." "Jiao Mian, you really surprise me. Your state makes me feel like you don't know anything, but you obviously know it. Very few people can be as calm as you." Jiao Mian smiled again, "Actually, I am the one who should be surprised." "Why do you say that?" "I thought Director Zhang would have a different impression of me after seeing the dirty information." But in fact, Zhang Feng's attitude towards her remained the same as before. It didn't get better all of a sudden. It didn't become bad all of a sudden. It was as if he had not seen the news. But since he took the initiative to mention this matter to me, it means that he must have seen it. Under normal circumstances, regardless of whether the dirty information is true or false, outsiders' impression of her will definitely change if they don't understand her. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2495. Chapter 2495. He guessed almost everything. So she was curious why Zhang Feng didn't seem to care at all. "Do you think I will hate you because of those dirty things?" Zhang Feng also raised his lips and smiled. When he is not smiling, he looks quite serious. Especially during work, just like the dean of students in school. But when he smiles, he is actually quite approachable, which is quite different from when he doesn't smile. The atmosphere was relaxed at the moment, and Jiao Mian felt very relaxed and at ease. She said casually, as if chatting with friends, "Well, since Director Zhang has seen all the dirty stuff about me, doesn't he have any thoughts about me?" Zhang Feng laughed a few times. "Jiao Mian, why is Director Zhang laughing?" Zhang Feng looked at her funny. "It's not the first day I've been in this circle. I've seen at least 100 such things. You suddenly exposed so much black material, and at the same time there are so many so-called insiders popping up, and anyone with any brains will know that you have been tricked. With your current status and background, there are not many people who dare to offend you. So I guess it is not your colleagues in the circle who are trying to punish you. You may have offended someone outside the circle, and this person is relatively powerful, so I won't be afraid of your background. However, no matter how powerful that person is, I think there is nothing in this Cloud City that the Bai family and the Mo family cannot solve. So I am curious to ask, why haven't those hot searches of yours been removed? Is this what you meant?" Jiao Mian raised her head in surprise. "I have to say that Zhang Feng is very smart. He guessed almost everything." Jiao Mian did not deny it. She nodded, "Well, That's more or less what director Zhang guessed. It would be great if everyone had an IQ like Zhang Feng. No matter how much the other party spreads rumors about her, it is useless. But obviously, the average IQ of Weibo netizens is still not high enough. The majority of people still believe the rumors. But that's okay. If netizens believe the rumors, she should provide strong evidence to refute them. Although we have just met, I believe you are not that kind of person. Zhang Feng is a very accurate person, and he also believes in his own vision. He and Xiao Mian have only been together for less than a day. But this girl looks clean, her eyes are clear and clean, and her aura is not that of a scheming woman. It's not like he has never seen someone who is truly scheming. Moreover, no matter how innocent a woman pretends to be in front of him, he can still tell the difference. Xiao Mian was stunned for a moment, with a flash of surprise in her eyes. Afterwards, her heart felt warm and she said with some emotion, "Thank you, Director Zhang." She was really touched when a person who had known her for less than a day said that he believed her. What I promised you before will not change. If you are interested in C-brand perfume advertising, I will recommend you for an interview. My vision is never wrong, and I believe I will not see the wrong person, Zhang Feng confident said. Xiao Mian was grateful for his trust, but couldn't help but ask, what if Director Zhang misjudged the wrong person? What if I really am the kind of person in the news? Although this question is quite meaningless, she asked anyway. Zhang Feng smiled indifferently, even if you are that kind of person, it doesn't matter. I just appreciate your performance and ability at work, so I will still recommend you. As for what kind of person you are in private, I don't know. Big attention. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2496. Chapter 2496. Shenro will definitely deny it. After he finished speaking, he paused for a few seconds and joked again, I'm not looking for a wife. Whether you are good or bad has nothing to do with me. Xiao Mian. Zhang Feng casually said a few words to her and left. As soon as Zhang Feng left, Xiao Mian saw Linda walking towards her with a surprised expression on her face. Mian. Linda approached her and showed her the phone. Sister Xia, what's wrong? Xiao Mian took the phone and glanced down, then a surprised expression appeared on her face. Mian, there is some dirty information about you and Gong Zili. He came out personally to refute the rumors. Is what he said true? Did you really save him before, and you are his savior? Linda asked in surprise and curiosity. Xiao Mian looked at the Weibo that Gong Zili had just sent without saying anything. After a moment, she raised her head in surprise. Have you seen the Weibo he posted? Linda asked. Yeah, Xiao Mian nodded, I've finished reading. Is what he said true? Xiao Mian hesitated for a few seconds, then nodded, probably so. Linda, should it be? Xiao Mian returned the phone to her, I had a car accident many years ago and forgot some things. I don't remember that I saved him, but he said that I saved him that night. My dad also said that he took me to Gong's house in the evening, and I disappeared for a while. When I came back, I was wet. So, I think this thing should be true. Linda was speechless. After a long time of silence, he slowly uttered a sigh, I didn't expect that you would be the savior of the crown prince. That Shenro is really disgusting. Not only did she pretend to take the credit from you, but now he even spread rumors that you were having an affair with Prince Gong. After Gong Zili made this statement, I think she is finished. Huh, she really deserves it. She shot herself in the foot. However, Gong Zili will be so decisive and leave no sympathy for her. It's still a bit surprising. Even if you were the one who saved him, he and Shenro have known each other for many years, and their relationship has been so ambiguous. I don't think Gong Zili would have taken things to this point. Chiao Mian was silent for a few seconds after hearing this, and then raised her lower lip. I didn't expect it either. But this saves you a lot of trouble, Linda said, at least on this matter, you don't have to clarify anything. I just don't know whether the statement from Miyazawa will how many people believe it. Gong Zili's move really surprised Chiao Mian. It did solve a problem for her. If he did this, it would be impossible for him and Shenro to return to their previous relationship in this life. Although Chiao Mian was a little grateful to him, when she thought about what he thought about her, she couldn't help but frown slightly. This Weibo post by Miyazawa was beyond her expectation. Chiao Mian has already thought of how to solve this matter. However, this Weibo post from Gong Zili will also be helpful to her. When the time comes, she will be able to beat Shenro even more to death. Shenro will definitely come out and deny it. Chiao Mian thought about Shenro and expressed her opinion. What happened back then has been so long ago. If she denies it, no one can find evidence for her lying. Even if what happened that night was recorded by surveillance, no one kept the surveillance of that night. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2497. Chapter 2497 and some other strong evidence. In the absence of strong evidence, she can simply refuse to admit it. It can even be said that Gong Zili framed her. Linda was stunned and frowned. You are right. After all, it happened a long time ago. If she denies it, no one will come up with evidence to prove that she is lying. Then what happened to Miyazawa? Isn't Weibo useless? Linda's mood suddenly became less good. I thought that with this incident, I could give Shenro a good blow. Linda felt extremely aggrieved when she thought that she was still fooling around and allowing trolls to smear her as an artist. She listened to Chiao Mian and did not let the company team handle the matter. I have endured this tone until now. But when she saw that the other party was becoming more and more excessive and arrogant and wanton, she really couldn't hold back the anger in her heart. She didn't know when Chiao Mian said it would be later. She is also afraid that if she deals with it too late, many things will be out of control. Although the advertisements that Chiao Mian had just signed have not been affected so far, and the advertisers have not asked for termination of the contract or compensation for liquidated damages, several excellent film and television companies that were still in contact with them have not as enthusiastic as before. How is it possible to say that it has no impact at all? If Chiao Mian were one of those ordinary artists, she does not have such a strong backing as she does now. How to fight back against a powerful enemy like Shang Shenro? They can only wait to die. Perhaps my own future will be ruined by this matter. Mian, there was a TV series with a very good script that we have been in contact with before. The other party really hopes that you can play the female lead, and is very sincere. They talked to me for a long time about this matter, and even offered a very high price. I also thought that this would definitely be a very pleasant cooperation. I wanted to help you with it, but now that something like this has happened, it's hard to talk about cooperation. Linda expressed her worries tactfully. Sister Xia, didn't I say you don't have to worry about this matter? Chiao Mian still looked calm, as if she was not in a hurry. Don't worry, I said I would handle this matter today. It will definitely be handled well. I was waiting for some strong evidence. Before I got the evidence, even if we quickly refuted the rumors and removed those hot searches, netizens would still not believe it. So what's the point of refuting such rumors? Since you want to refute the rumors, you must prevent the other party from having any chance to quibble and deny. Sister Xia, since you want to attack someone, you must beat the other party to death. You must not give her any chance to continue to make trouble. Linda was soothed by her words. Then have you found the evidence now? Sister Xie, give me my mobile phone. Xiao Mian did not answer her immediately and stretched out her hand. She had just been filming in the video studio, and her mobile phone was given to Linda for safekeeping. Linda took out her cell phone and handed it to her. Xiao Mian took it, unlocked it, and clicked into her WeChat. A few seconds later, Linda saw the corners of Xiao Mian's lips raised a little bit, and the corners of her eyes also curled up, as if she had seen something that made her feel very happy. Linda was curious. When Xiao Mian looked away from the phone and raised her head to look at her, Linda couldn't help but ask, "You are so happy. Did Mr. Mo send you a WeChat message?" End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2498. Chapter 2498. Very bad information for you. Xiao Mian shook his head. Her dark eyes flashed with light, and the corners of her lips slightly raised. Sister Xie, I'm waiting for the evidence. Are you waiting for the evidence? Linda's heart skipped a beat. Evidence that can kill the other party. What evidence? Sister Xie, next, I may ask the company to help. Xiao Mian shook her phone. The smile on her face and eyes was still there, but her voice gradually turned colder. We can start to fight back. Asterisk. Mr. Shen. Shen Ro was in a meeting when the door of the conference hall was suddenly pushed open. The person outside the door came in with a look of urgency on his face. The ongoing meeting was suddenly interrupted. All the senior executives sitting in the conference hall frowned and were a little unhappy. Shen Ro also frowned and turned her head, seeing her assistant walking in. "What's the matter, didn't you see me in the meeting?" Shen Ro said, somewhat displeased. The assistant walked quickly to her side and lowered his voice. "Mr. Shen, Mr. Gong just posted a Weibo to refute rumors about his scandal. That Weibo involved you, and it contains some very bad information about you. I think this matter must be dealt with urgently, so I will tell you right away." Shen Ro's face changed slightly. What did he post on Weibo? This, the assistant looked embarrassed. Shen Ro knew that it was inconvenient to say. "You go out first," she told her assistant, then turned to look at the senior executive sitting in the conference hall, and picked up the mobile phone on the conference table. "The meeting will be suspended for 10 minutes. Let's take a break." After saying that, Shen Ro got up and walked out. After leaving the conference room, she opened Weibo. Soon, she saw the Weibo post posted by Miyazawa. After she quickly read Weibo, her face suddenly became gloomy, as if a storm was about to come. "Gongzili, I would like to declare that I have never had any ambiguity with Ms. Xiao Mian. All those who spread rumors and frame you are waiting for me to take you to court. Also, it is true that Miss Shen Raochen and I are no longer friends, but this has nothing to do with Xiao Mian sowing discord. This is just a grudge between me and Miss Shen. Originally I didn't want to talk about my personal grudges in public, but now it seems that if I don't talk about it, it will only cause innocent people to suffer more injustice and be misunderstood by more people who don't know the truth. So now, this is no longer my business alone, I have to stand up. Shen Ro and I did break up our relationship because of one thing. The reason for the breakup was because she cheated on me. On the night of my 13th birthday party, I fell into a swimming pool with no one around and almost drowned. But when I was desperate, an angel appeared and saved me. Since then, I have been grateful to her and vowed to be good to her throughout my life. Before I knew the truth, the person I swore to be good to her all my life was Shen Ro. When I opened my eyes, the first person I saw was her, all wet. I asked her if she saved me and she didn't deny it. This lie lasted for 10 years. 10 years later, because of something, I became suspicious of what happened that night, and later arranged for someone to investigate the matter. Next, everyone should know that I learned the truth. My savior was not Shenro. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2499. Chapter 2499. After all, he can't produce any evidence. I can't forgive her for her deception, so I chose to be strangers from now on. As for why I have to stand up and speak clearly about this matter, it is because I don't want my real savior to bear any infamy because of me. Xiao Mian saved my life. Anyone who attacks her is attacking me. I, Gong Zili, will make this person pay the price at all costs. If you don't believe it, then give it a try. This statement issued by Miyazawa was like a bomb suddenly dropped, which shocked a group of netizens who had just finished eating melon. They had thought that Gong Zili's team would definitely refute the rumors. Or he himself came out to refute the rumors. No one could have imagined that the content of his refutation would be like this. When Miyazawa was 13 years old, he almost drowned. Shenro pretended to be the man who saved him and deceived him for 10 years. Then, the person who really saved Gong Zili that night was Xiao Mian. This wave of surprises makes people feel extremely exciting and wonderful. Today is a really wonderful day. So, there is actually no ambiguity between Gong Zili and Xiao Mian, let alone cheating or cheating on anyone. Xiao Mian is not the kind of scheming girl mentioned in the revelations, deliberately driving a wedge between Shenro and others. Gong Zili broke up with Shenro because Shenro cheated on him and had nothing to do with Xiao Mian. He was nice to Xiao Mian only because he was grateful that Xiao Mian was her savior. That said, it seems to make sense. However, some netizens soon raised other questions. If Gong Zili and Xiao Mian were not ambiguous, how could he and Mo Yesi break up? No one came out to refute the rumors about this matter. Some people have also raised questions. It is impossible for anyone to verify the authenticity of what happened more than 10 years ago. Is it possible that Miyazawa's words were fabricated? So when Gong Zili issued this statement, half of the people believed it? Half of the people don't believe it? After all, he had no evidence. So, it is possible to say that he made it up. Those who believe in Gong Zili will naturally scold Shenro until she is bloody. This woman Shenro is so disgusting. She also said that Xiao Mian is scheming. Why do I think she is even more scheming than Xiao Mian? She actually claimed the credit of others and deceived the palace about this matter. Zi has been away for 10 years, how can she have such a face? This behavior is so disgusting. No wonder Gong Zili broke off the relationship with her. I would definitely break off the relationship with her. No, not only would I break up the relationship, I would also give her a slap in the face. In fact, I have experienced similar things, but it's not so serious. But it's also so disgusting that it's like swallowing a fly. Being deceived like a fool by someone you trust will really break your heart. I understand Gong Zili's decision and support him in doing so. If what he said is true, then Shenro is really going too far. Why do you think Shenro is the true, kind, and beautiful type? Her appearance shows that she is a very shrewd and strong woman. To be honest, I am not surprised at all that she would do such a thing. I have the same idea as above. Shenro's face is not soft, she looks a bit strong, and in general, there are not many career-oriented women with simple thoughts. I don't think Gong Zili will lie to people. He is a very proud person and he doesn't even bother to make up these things to deceive people. Complete the missing update from yesterday. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2500. Chapter 2500, No one cares about her life or death. A bold guess, pure passerby, don't take sides, Stay away from trolls. I feel that Jiao Mian has offended someone this time. All these black materials were prepared, and it was obviously someone who invited the Navy is messing with her. If nothing else, it's true that Jean Bo has a good relationship with Qin Han and Jiao Mian, and it's not as bad as Qin Han's character said in the news. Even if Jiao Mian has a background, if he doesn't. He admires Jiao Mian so much that it is impossible for him to stand up and speak for her. I agree with the point above. I think it is unlikely that Qin Han was threatened. Qin Han has expressed his admiration for Jiao Mian many times in public. It can be seen that he really likes Jiao Mian. What if he's been threatened, so he can't help Jiao Mian every time? Don't you think Qin Han has no power and can be manipulated at will? Don't bring Qin Han. Fans of Qin Han said that our brother doesn't want to speculate with anyone. My brother has always only focused on his own career and doesn't want to participate in any meaningless hype or scandal. Don't take our family to Zanbo. Some big fans have gone to Boj to verify today's scandal. Boj said that he and Jiao Mian have a purely friendship relationship, which is not what the news said. Sisters, there is something exciting again to watch. Qin Han and Jean Bo both posted clarifications on Weibo at the same time. The teams from both parties also sent out legal letters, saying they would sue those who spread rumors. Sisters, come and watch the fun. The assistant looked at Shen Ro's completely darkened face and said cautiously, Mr. Shen, there are a lot of unfavorable remarks about you on Weibo. The Weibo posted by Mr. Gong has a great impact on your image and the entire palace. His image also has a great influence. Should we clarify this on Weibo? Otherwise, if everyone really believes Mr. Gong's remarks, I'm afraid Mr. Shen. Shenro clenched her cell phone and bit her lips, the anger in her eyes like a bomb about to explode. She was so angry that her whole body was shaking. Gong Zili, how could he? He was so cruel and ruthless towards her. By making such remarks on Weibo, did he want to make her unable to be a human being in the future? Have he ever thought about the consequences of doing so? Have you ever thought about what she will face and encounter? Just to protect Jiao Mian, he could be so cruel to her? For a time, strong hatred filled her entire chest. It was like a fire was burning in her chest, and her chest heaved violently. She hates it so much. She is really hateful. Mo Yesi and Gong Zili, one was the man she once placed at the top of her heart, and the other was the man who once placed her at the top of her heart. But now, both men have become enemies with the same woman. They all wanted to put Jiao Mian to death for her sake. No one cares about her life or death. Now, only Jiao Mian is Bai Yueguang in their hearts, the woman they care about most. Shenro, on the other hand, is someone who can be harmed and sacrificed at will for Jiao Mian. Clarify, of course you must clarify. When Shenro raised her head, the assistant looked at her and was a little frightened. Her eyes were bloodshot in an instant. The red eyes looked strange, as if they were stained with blood. Mr. Shen, since we want to clarify, should we first ask the Public Relations Department to draft a copy? The assistant's voice became more cautious, as if walking on thin ice, for fear that Shenro would suddenly explode. End of this chapter.